Hi, Ward Jene Stroud here. I'm going to share today with you some iridescent painting techniques. And we're going to do a dragonfly, and I'm going to use Fine-Tec iridescent paint, and I want to show you how to use masking fluid to get a really beautiful gossamer wing effect. So I'm using the Kilimanjaro 140-pound cold press paper, and I will be using American Journey tube paints on this also. But to get started, the first thing that we're going to do is lay down some masking fluid. And I wanted to get a real lacy effect on the wings. So what I'm going to do first is get just a common household sponge, and I want to wet it down a little bit. So I'm going to put it in the water, and then, but I don't want it super wet. I want it to be kind of damp. So shake that out a little bit, and then I'm going to take some of the fine line, the masking fluid here, and this is a liquid frisket. Wherever you put this, it will dry, and then later, once you rub it off, the white paper that it's been covering will come through. So this allows you to do some special effects. So I'm going to take this masking fluid, and I just need a little puddle of it here. There we go. It's a little thick. And now I got this damp sponge, and again, not too wet, because if it's too wet, the masking fluid will liquefy and will become part of the paper. And then I'm just going to dab my sponge into this, roll it around, and I want to get a good coating of it on the sponge here. And then I'm going to go over the wing area. Now the trick to this is you don't want to outline the wings. In other words, don't just go around the edges like this. I want to go outside of the pencil lines here and get a good coverage. And later, the trick is, I'll show you how to shape that, so when it's done, only the wings will have that beautiful gossamer effect. I'm looking from the side, make sure I got a good covering. You don't want to do too much. If you cover the wings with too much masking fluid, you won't get to see any of the white paper afterwards. You want just enough to make it look lacy. There we go. Pardon my angle here. I just want to make sure I'm getting a good amount of coverage on this. Beautiful. And then I also want to, while I'm doing this, there's some beautiful little veins in the wings. They're very light, they're very delicate. And so because this is a fine tip, this will let me do nice, clean little straight lines. So I'm just going to do a couple of these little lines out here. Very subtle. Don't want to overdo it too much. These will show up nice later. Just like that. Check, we've got a pretty good coverage, and we're going to let that dry. I'll come back and we'll show you how to shape that and do this really wonderful technique. All right, so to finish this technique for getting the gossamer wing effect, after putting on the masking fluid with the sponge sparingly so that a lot of the white paper will get covered, but a lot of the paper will be able to be painted on. Now is the fun part, and this is the little tip of the technique. I'm going to take my finger and rub off just around the wings here all the extra masking fluid that we put on. Remember I said don't outline this, be sure and go over the lines, and that way it won't look like it was cut out and pasted on. So I'm just going to take the tip of my finger here, and just outside the wings, I'm going to rub off all this masking fluid. And what you want to find is if you have a pencil or one of those old school pencils that has the pointy eraser on it, you know, the triangle, the wedge-shaped eraser, or for this purpose, I'm going to use this pencil here, and I love this because it has this little fine tipped eraser on it, and we're going to use that, and I'll show you in a moment how to get in between the tight spots here. And this is a very powerful effect. It's very convincing to the eye. And I've had great great success with this in painting other things too, like hummingbirds that might have a gossamer effect. Probably would great for grassy fields and things, anywhere where you need kind of a lacy. And see, I'm just taking off the fine line masking fluid here. I think I'll leave a little bit on the back, but I can come through here. Now, I don't want to rub all the way down into here with my finger, because that would take the masking fluid off inside the wings, and we would lose this beautiful effect of having the gossamer wings. So this is where I'll take my pencil with a fine eraser, and I'll come right down into this tight spot, and I'm just going to remove the masking fluid into here. And same in here. My finger is a little too wide to get down here, so I'm just going to take this pencil and push it back. Isn't that cool? And I love this stuff. Maybe just right up to the wingtip, but not inside the line. But some of these artifacts here can come off. Dragonflies are such magical beings. I can sit on a summer day and watch them and just in wonder at their beauty. They seem to flit in and out of reality. Same as hummingbirds. All the beautiful beings that we share our world with. I always joke I could probably be happy just painting dragonflies and butterflies for the rest of my life. But then I'd miss out on the landscapes and all the other fun things. Okay, so I think I've now shaped off all the masking fluid except where the wings are. And then we'll move on to the next part of the painting. We'll do a background. Oh, missed a little bit right there. Do a nice background, and then we're going to get into doing the iridescent paints, which are so much fun. I can't wait to share this with you.